Welcome to Torah Readiness Group, our beans and rice buckets. Here I have a list of everything that we have in our buckets. At the time of making the video, we had not started putting in the hot cocoa. So I start off with a Mylar bag in a 5-gallon bucket. These particular bags came from Amazon. The bucket came from Walmart. I try to make sure I get the rice as flat as I can. I found that the 5-pound bags, 2 of them sit better than trying to put in one 10-pound or a bunch of 2-pound bags. I usually try to put the bigger beans, kidney beans, black beans on the bottom. That is cornmeal. Variety, especially in situations that are not necessarily pleasing, is definitely helpful. So you'll see here where I'm trying to get it in and I don't actually have them situated just how I like them. So I'm actually going to pull both bags out and try to flatten them so they're tall and skinny together and set them in together. Next is I'm going to put honey in, and I vacuum sealed the honey just in case something comes loose while moving around, so we don't have honey on the outside of a bunch of bags and everything's sticky, and then you lose the calories and the extra little snack that you're trying to get from the honey. Next comes coffee. We did instant coffee, less effort, less equipment. All you need is your cup and the coffee, as opposed to trying to homebrew. Do the brewing coffee, it takes more. So we use Guayusa tea. Guayusa tea still has quite a bit of caffeine in it, but it kind of hits your body a little bit differently, so it doesn't give you quite the jitters. Black pepper, because spices are important, otherwise everything tastes exactly the same. I vacuum sealed the sugar. Sometimes it can make it into a brick because there's not, it's removing all of the air and it kind of compacts it in together. However, it's much more durable in the vacuum seal. Now here's where I start putting in some of the smaller things. The smaller beans kind of fit better around things. I also put the sugar in the middle because it's got the harder points to it to try to protect the bag from getting ripped if it gets jostled and that corner of the sugar goes through. So I pack the beans around it. We have the pinto beans, the black-eyed peas, that kind of stuff coming in. One of the cool things about the split peas and the lentils is they take less time to cook, and you can use less fuel then, and especially if you soak them first. Another thing is red lentils. If you happen to find something like eggs and you can pulverize it and smash it really well in your container, you actually can make something that's kind of like a really dense bread with it. So there's the Great Northern beans. Chickpeas, same thing. If you can soak them, cook them, and get them kind of mashed, then add some garlic and you can make a really like a pasty hummus thing. You don't have the olive oil because of this. So 16-ounce kosher salt. And the reason why we did the kosher salt the way it is it's a nice big easy container that's exactly a pound. Chances are you're not going to use all these spices with just what you have in there unless you are really heavy-handed. But with the salt, you can also use it for electrolytes, and you can use it for other things, like if you happen to stumble upon some salsa products, plants out wild growing, and you can make a fermented salsa. So I have a variety of spices in here so that I can make a bunch of different things. Now we're going to seal the bag. These ones have a Ziploc type sealant, so I leave a little hole in there. I get as much air as I can out of there first. But I left the little hole, 1, so that the air can come out, but 2, I can drop the oxygen absorbers. For a 5-gallon bag, you actually only need 1 2500 cc oxygen absorber, but I tend to overdo things sometimes, so we actually put in 2 25 cc's oxygen absorbers just to be on the safe side and make sure that anything that could be in there ends up suffocated. So dropping them in there, folding it down again, making sure I'm pushing all of the air out. before I Ziploc it. And now when I lift it up, you should be able to see that it is not obviously vacuum sealed, but tighter. And usually I will leave it here for a few days just to make sure the oxygen absorber has plenty of time to work. Now this one's been sitting for about a week. You can see the seal is still there. I pick it up, no air comes in. The bag stays nice and sealed. This is one of my old flat irons. It is actually a mini flat iron, travel flat iron by Chi. This one I got commercial from TJ Maxx, so it's not even one of the professional woohoo ones from when I used to do hair. So you can either do this like that, and you can see how it starts to seal it together. Just section by section holding it, or in a minute you'll actually see me start to slide. And one of the things when I start to slide it over is there's a little bit of resistance, so it looks like it's a little shaky. I'm not just opening and closing all the way down. I'm actually just slowly trying to move it, and there's that little bit of resistance from the gliding. This is where, you know, disclaimers, be careful. It's hot. You know, actually probably should wear, you know, mitts or some kind of a heat resistant glove. They make them then sell them at places like Sally's Beauty Supply. So they're heat resistant gloves for curling hair, but I don't think I have any major feeling left in my hands after so many years of burning my hands on the flat iron. I feel really hot water though when I'm doing dishes. That can get a little too hot. And here I'm just going over it again because I want to make sure that every section, every spot where I've opened and closed it is sealed, and it, you know, overlap them as much as possible. One of the things you'll also notice is that these are Ziplocs, and I have a little, there's the little tear tab. So I try to get it above the tear tab so that when we open it, we can actually reseal it or Ziploc it shut. Now this is one actually designed to seal Mylar bags. One of the things I was pointing at is it's got little feet on it, so you don't have to find something like a heat pad to put under it. You put the little feet. I haven't had it burn my counter or anything else yet. Again, it's a hot implement that can burn, so be careful. Now this one I did started out a little awkward, so I'm going to change positions here in a minute, but you can already see how quickly that starts to seal. I'm going to go over it, you know, quite a few times and overlap just to make sure that the seals are completely sealed. And there's no spots where little airs can get in. So this is another bag that I had done that we sealed up about a week ago. And these are simple. You just, mine is about, I want to say 6 inches wide, maybe 8. I think it's 6 inches wide. And you just clamp it down and hold it. And you can see where it gives that kind of crinkled look. A little bit smaller than a potato chip bag. And seal. And again, I'm trying to stay above that tear tab so that when it's opened, we can not have to cut it below the zipper, and that we can continue, you know, reseal it that way. But also that if something happens and we literally get the opportunity to reheat seal it, we're able to and still have room to work with that zipper, because it does make it so much easier when you're working with the plastic Ziploc-esque thing. So the last step, and I did not video that, is just tucking it all in like you saw in the first bucket. Tuck it all down and tuck it all in, and put the lid on it and put it in your storage.